Hello, hello. My name is Alexis Delabel, and today I want to go over a problem that I've been seeing over and over again when it comes down to using AI. And that is that everyone always talks about the importance of the prompt, but nobody really goes into how you write one and what makes it good. So today I'm going to give you my exact prompting formula. It's the one that I use for schoolwork, for professional work, and literally anything else that I do that requires some type of structure. So, as a little bit of background on myself, I have been creating content and working with AI for a whole year now, and I'm actually in a master's that's focused on AI. And outside of class, I have tested hundreds of prompts, and I've also taken online classes like Google Prompting Essentials. And so what I've learned is this, it's that the best results, they don't come from long prompts, they come from structured ones. So the formula that I have here, it works for everything. It works for writing posts, analyzing data, brainstorming strategies, coming up with this video, or even job interview prep. So let's break it down. And just to clarify, I believe that even missing a single one of these criterias will really drop the output of the AI that we're working. And the AI that I'll be using personally for this example in this video is ChatGPT. So let's start with the first one, persona. If we don't give ChatGPT a persona, it actually takes on the role of an encyclopedia. So it's going to give us general, non-specific, non-opinionated information using simple words. It's not industry specific, and it's not going to be very scientific. And so this is where we get to give it sort of the lens that it can think through. So we can tell it something like, you're an experienced content creator on YouTube. And then we'll get the exact ideas and concepts that will really help us to get better results. The second one is context. So what's the situation or the goal that we're trying to work on? If we don't give this to ChatGPT, what it will do is it will pull from its past experiences and give us, and it tries to come up with an idea of what it is that we're working on, and it gives us cookie cutter examples. So this is where we want to be more specific. Say, hey, I'm working on a YouTube video on how to use ChatGPT and how to prompt correctly. By giving it this context, we really stay focused on what we're working on. Number 3 is resources. Now, to me, resources comes down to two things. First is references, and the second one is going to be information. So resources are what we give the ChatGPT in the prompt to pull information and to really help work on the output. And we can give it a references and say, I want you to format this output the way that I did this document. And you can also say, I want you to pull all the information from these documents, from these links, blah, blah, blah. Lastly, we have the output. And this is where we kind of take all the information that we've created and worked on and we shape it. We tell it what we want. We say, hey, I want you to give me, a 3-part LinkedIn post with a hook and a call to action at the end. And this is also where we can talk about the tone and the style. We can say, hey, I want you to be conversational, but also keep it professional. And so this is the formula, and I want to actually put it into an example, because what I've done is I've told you it, but I want to show you just how much time and how efficient it is to use it. So as you can see, I'm on an incognito browser. The reasoning for that is ChatGPT, I've got 5 tabs open. This is going to be the base version. It's not trained on how I work. It doesn't have any information on what I'm doing. This is a brand new ChatGPT. This would be like starting it on a new phone or a new computer and you're not logged in. So let's come up with an example. So let's say, give me a presentation on the importance of sleep. And I'm sorry if you can hear the typing. The importance of sleep. So when we put that in, it's going to give us an output. And we can see introduction, physical health benefits. Now, like I said, because we haven't given it much information or anything at all, really, the result that we're getting is very general. It's like reading in an encyclopedia. We're getting basic information. It's not backed by science. There's not much else going on. So now we want to do the first step, right, which is that persona. So what I'll do is I'll copy and paste this first prompt in, because this is kind of our context right now, and we're going to give it a persona. So we're going to say, take on the role of an expert in sleep studies with years of experience on the topic. This is where we kind of get to give ChatGPT the character. This is going to hugely affect the output because think what it's pulling off, what kind of past it has is going to affect what it gives us. So we have this. If I go ahead and put it in, what have we got? Sleep is fundamental, emotional health. And we're seeing some technical terms, right? Non-rapid eye movement, rapid eye movement. We can see that the information is getting a little bit more scientific, but is it really what we want? Does ChatGPT here really understand the output and the final result that we're looking for? Keeping in mind this is a presentation, but now we're going to give it context. And so this is where copy and paste, we actually get rid of the give me because we're going to give it the exact context. Also, fun fact, if you do shift enter on ChatGPT, that's how you skip a line. It took me way too long to learn that, but it's a huge game changer. So now here's the context. I am making a 5-minute presentation to a group of college students in the medical field on the subject. My hope, this is where we want to talk about kind of the objective of the context, is my hope is to show them how sleep is a major part of their client's health. Cool. So now the results are going to be focused on the client, and we're keeping in mind we're talking to college students in the medical field. So we have an idea of kind of the goal and the message that we're trying to bring. So now if we look over it, we see common disorders, sleep apnea, sleep practical, right? We even see practices on something that someone in the medical field would do, right? Asking patients. So we see that our message is now a lot more related to the person that we're presenting to. And that's the context part. And now we're going to take this exact prompt, take it to the next step, right? I'm sorry, this is just for formatting so we can kind of see each step. What's the next part? It's the resources. And so I don't have any specific resources that I can give it. So I'm just going to say base the information only on scientific studies. Studies that have been tested. For every point you make, forgot the capital, for every point you make, give me the sources you used. There's two reasons I do this. The first is because ChatGPT and AI isn't perfect, and they're going to invent information sometimes. We call those hallucinations, and I don't want any hallucinations, right? I want everything I say to be able to be backed by science, but I also want to be able to check on it myself. So by doing this, when I press enter, it is going to give us information as well as the sources. And so now what I can do is I can go back into each of these and check if the information is really true and correct. And if something sounds strange and sounds wrong, I can make sure that it's real. So it's going to go through, do this for all the information, summary and takeaway. Now we can see if I just took this information for a 5-minute presentation, I don't think I'd go very far, right? This is maybe a page of text for a 5-minute presentation. It's not going to be enough. So now we go into the final step, which is going to be giving it the output. How do we want the final information to be? So let's describe it. We want, give me a presentation outline and a script, because we want to know what we have to say. starting with an introduction, 3 main points, keeping it classic to the college presentation, a conclusion, and a call to action. I always like having these at the end of presentations to make sure there's the feedback from the students. Students, ensure that every point is backed with evidence, and then give me a recommended timing. Recommended timing along with this. This is just a good practice for presentations, so we have an idea of how long each section should be. And so here we go. We've got our recommended timing. Now we've got 1 minute, 1.5, 1.5, 1, and 1. And now here's our script. Right. As future medical professionals, we can see that the content is focused on our target audience. A landmark study. We have sources. This is backed by science. All of our points are backed by science. We have information. And now all we need to do is essentially create a PowerPoint for this. And we could also ask it that. I guess it didn't listen to the part about the presentation outline, but give me a PowerPoint outline as well. Should have added that to the original prompt, but here we go. And so we've got all of the slides that we'll need for the presentation. So here's the formula once again. I hope that not just saying it, but actually getting to showed you the importance of each one. And the reality is, when we get to this result here, we want to continue to iterate and rework it until we get the final result that we'd like. But by having this strong prompt, what we actually end up doing is saving time. Because what we'd have to do is, if we use the first one, we'd actually go through every single step and we tell it, oh, be more scientific, give me the information this way. And instead now we're just saving the time and putting all of the format in a way that we like. So I hope this was useful. If it was, I'd love to get feedback, hear how you used it, if it really worked. And if you liked the video and thought it was useful, please leave a like. I do plan on trying to post more content based on AI and the world that's evolving around us. And yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and have a great day.